Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for your August 2023 Tarotscope. It is my absolute pleasure and such a blessing to be here with you, so thank you for being here with me. In the description box below, you will find links to all sorts of goodies. There will also be a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. But please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We are going to be taking a look at how you grew last month, what truth you are ready to have revealed to you, how this truth will challenge you, how this truth will bless you, and getting some guidance that will best support your evolution. So let's dive in, Pisces, and see what is coming through for you this month. Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves. How did Pisces grow last month, please? July, 2023. I feel like I'm just going to pause because nothing comes from nothing. And I feel like some of you, however you grew last month, I feel like it's carried over from June. I feel like this could be something that started in June, or that maybe really got some traction in June and just progressed through July, okay? So how did Pisces grow? Thank you. What truth is Pisces ready? Okay, thank you. How will this truth challenge Pisces, please? How will this truth challenge Pisces? For some of you, I feel like you may be struggling to acknowledge the truth, even though you may be ready to have it revealed to you, or perhaps you may be struggling to acknowledge how this truth is actually challenging to you. Yeah, it almost feels like I'm ready to have this truth revealed, but I don't know if I'm ready to actually implement it, right? So acknowledging the truth may be the challenge for you, or acknowledging that it's a struggle for you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's really interesting, right? Because the cards didn't want to come out, and then when I shared what I thought the challenge felt like, then it wanted to come out. So there's a lot of times that happens where there is, essentially like a block or a resistance, and it'll show up in the cards, like the cards won't want to come out. So it's very interesting that once that's brought forward, then the cards are like, okay, we can come out now. So anyways. How will this truth bless Pisces, please? Thank you. Let's get some clarity, dive a little deeper. Tell us more, please, about how Pisces grew last month. Tell us more. Okay, thank you. Tell us more, please, about the truth that Pisces is ready. Okay, thank you. Tell us more, please, about how this truth will challenge Pisces. Tell us more, please, about how this truth will challenge Pisces. For some of you, I'm just hearing that this truth may challenge your belief systems. Yeah, thank you. Which I feel could bring up, sorry guys, I just kicked the camera. I feel like this challenging of your belief systems may bring about some fear. And for some of you, I feel like this fear could have something to do with how do I say, moving from that fear or moving from that belief system and it being false, or it being, how would I say, not it being something that doesn't serve your highest good. And I feel like that could have caused you to make certain decisions, which now, upon realizing or having these belief systems challenged, it's like, oh crap, like, why did I do that? I don't know what this might be for some of you, but I'm just getting that coming through. So, as always, take what resonates. Tell us more, please, about how this truth will bless Pisces. Okay? I feel like there's not that many. I was going to say, I feel like there's more in here, but yeah, there it is. Thank you. Okay, and what guidance will best support Pisces in their evolution, please? Thank you. Okay, let's take a look. How did you grow last month, Pisces? Wow, well, you do have the law of growth, so that's pretty interesting. Be steadfast in your faith and stay the course. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, you may have grown last month in, how do I say this? I feel like you could have found more courage, could have found more of that inner strength to focus on your growth, to actually, how do I say this? Because, yeah, thank you. So it's essentially this energy of like walking the talk, not just talking the talk, right? And again, I feel like this could be for some of you something that has continued from June into July. And you may have grown by staying focused, staying the course, like staying committed to growth. I feel like for some of you, you've gained higher perspectives through the month of July. And I feel like, again, this has, how do I say, for some of you, it really allowed you to stand very firmly in your convictions. And maybe that is simply to just grow. Maybe that is simply to learn more about yourself. I'm actually hearing curious cat coming through. So for some of you, you may have just, how do I say this? You may have just been committed to figuring things out about yourself, right? It seems like for some of you that could be where that conviction comes in, or how do I say, that kind of like digging your heels in. It's like, listen, I just have to figure these things out. I need to gain these higher perspectives about myself. I need to understand myself. I need to grow. There are things about, I don't know why I do certain things the way that I do them. Actually, it's very interesting because I just got this kind of like blurry, like my eye just went blurry a little bit. And I feel that it's like, why do I see things the way that I see them? Because often they don't make sense. Okay, I don't know if that's for somebody very specific, but it's just very interesting to me. It feels like there's been this skewed perception of yourself, of reality, of others, and I feel like for some of you, you've grown by gaining different perspectives and seeing things differently. And because you're curious and because you want to know, there's this desire to figure things out. I feel like you've grown by staying committed to that or continuing to look further. Or for some of you, even, I'm getting that you've grown in your spirituality in the sense of reconnecting to faith, reconnecting to God. I feel it's very fascinating because it feels like seeing through the illusion. Again, gaining this higher perspective and finding the courage to just keep going, right? For some of you, this could have been incredibly challenging, I'm picking up on, because I feel that there could have been things that maybe you didn't want to see, maybe you didn't want to learn, but I think that that desire to know has outweighed the fear, if you will, or has, it's like I even though I'm not comfortable, even though I don't like it, like I can't just stop here, right? Very, very interesting. So, I feel like you've committed, if you will, to yourself, even if you can't or haven't been able to commit to other things. I feel like you have been able to commit to understanding yourself on a deeper level. Um, yeah, for again, kind of here, and here's the thing, this is why I feel like it's so incredible, because there's that energy coming through of in some cases, Pisces, you can be very kind of escapist, right? And so I do feel like there's this, how do I say, it's like instead of running from it, I'm facing it. Okay? Because I feel like there are some of you who might relate to, running from it and finding how destructive that is in your experience. Okay? Let's see. We do have the 3 of Cups here. And so it feels like there's this energy of, first of all, wanting, how do I say this? It feels like wanting to, first of all, grow. Second of all, I feel like there's this desire to find happiness. And for some of you, I feel that, so we have this be steadfast in your faith and stay the course. The 3 of Cups can sometimes point toward community and friendship, things like this. And I feel for some of you, I'm going to say this with so much love, but I feel for some of you, your friendship circles have been kind of shit. You may have been around people and, or been in relationships that simply were not good for you. And I feel like you've grown last month by really picking, if you will, being very selective in who you're spending your time with, right? I feel like for some of you, there's been this like, I'm staying the course, I'm staying focused. And if you're pulling me off of that path, if you're bringing, let's say, you know, I don't know why I'm picking up on this, but like, if you're bringing this like toxic, gossipy, overindulgent type of energy into my experience, like we just simply can't be friends. And actually, I'm hearing the song like, why can't we be friends? Because I feel like there are some people who just didn't get it. And you're like, listen, like, it's not about you. Understand, like, this is about me. And I'm trying to grow. And if you aren't on that train, you've got to go somewhere else. Because I feel like, again, there's been this focus on growth, and I'm drawn to the fact how these women here on this card have their back facing you, right, facing the camera, but this lion here is like, no, like I'm fierce, right? We are moving forward, because I feel like there's this, how do I say this, it's coming through intuitively as like, I'm moving forward, and I will look, how do I say this, I will walk away. Like, I have no problem seeing your back, if that makes any sense. I have no problem, not moving with you, or you not moving with me, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just really feels like if you are not looking at things from a state of growth and trying to find true, authentic, deep happiness, and you're not trying to grow, like, I don't want any part of it. Okay? It's very, very interesting. Also, I feel like if there have been individuals who have not been supportive, who, have, again, like, are not, it feels like there's this energy of, I'm focused on my happiness. And if they have not been supportive of whatever that looks like for you, it's like, gotta go. Right? What do we have here? Yeah, we also have the 6 of Pentacles here in the reverse. So again, I feel like this is about growth, big time about growth. And the focus on that. I mean, all 3 of these cards for me indicate growth, whether based on what they're actually about, or the numerology. So I do feel like this is a lot about growth, a lot about healing. And with the Six of Pentacles, this can be an energy of like having or not having. So in the upright, it can be like having the resources, having the knowledge, having the power. In the reverse, it can be not having the resources, not having the knowledge, not having the power. It can be this energy of having strings attached, something having power over you or dominating you, or maybe even this energy of like stinginess. And so I feel here again, there's this energy of how did you grow? Well, again, I feel like there's this element of like turning your back on anything that tries to dominate you, that tries to have power over you, that tries to control you, anything that makes you feel like you're not enough. It's like, bye. I don't have time for this, right? I also feel like you may have grown by recognizing that, how do I say this? Happiness is something within you. It is not something that you gain by external experiences. Cups energy here with the Three of Cups. That Cups energy is about how inside, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition, your spirituality, your love, like these, your relationships, these things in more inwardly. Okay. Pentacles energy is more external in many cases, not all cases, but many cases. It's more of the physical world. It's more earth energy, right? And so I feel like it's like there's something here about that external reality not bringing that fulfillment. Okay. Take that as it resonates. Okay. But I will say that, again, there is this element here of anything that views you as not enough is like, I don't want anything to do with it. Okay. What truth are you ready to have revealed to you, Pisces? The law of polarity. The moment that you judge anything as good or bad, you set the universe into motion. So I do have some fear coming up, first of all. Second of all, I do feel that, I'm just going to be honest, for some of you, you may have struggled to take responsibility in the past. And you may have, again, kind of like I was speaking on before, you may have allowed certain belief systems, certain experiences, traumas, woundings, etc., to really kind of, how would we say, kind of have power over you. I'm just going to be honest. And you may have found yourself in situations where you're like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Right? And I feel that, here we do have this, there's a big moon on this card, and in that moon is the face of a lion. Okay. So I feel that for some of you, the truth that you're ready to have revealed is the fact that illusions have been leading you, and it has been up to you, right? We have lions showing up here a bit, quite a bit. You have the first two cards from this deck that you have out, both have lions in them. So I do feel like there's a lot here on finding that strength within you, that courage within you, that conviction within you, that bravery within you to kind of put your foot down. And so, I feel like part of the truth that you're ready to have revealed to you is that there's been this need for you to find the strength to overcome these illusions. Because I feel like these illusions have been putting you in a position where you judge things as, let's say, good or bad. And then again, you kind of set that, you set the universe into motion with that belief. Right? Yeah, I mean, because not only is there this big moon here on the card, but there's also a moon on her forehead where her third eye would be. I'm drawn to that. because I feel like this is the truth that I feel is that you have the power within you to overcome these illusions, to overcome the things that, essentially has put you in a position, or you've allowed to put you in a position to believe certain things about certain things, which has set your, has created your reality for better or for worse, right? But there's a lot here about illusion, I feel. And it's interesting because I don't know, I'm getting all sorts of messages dropping in, Pisces. For example, pardon me, it's there's an energy coming through of like all that glitters is not gold. Okay? Because again, I feel like there are illusions that you have attached to, or that belief systems that you've attached to that have been illusions, that have been lies, that have essentially looked good from the outside, but once you get deep into it, it's like, this is not at all what I thought it would be. Okay? And so I feel like, again, there's this, I feel part of the truth that's ready to be revealed to you is that you have the power within you to overcome that. You have the power within you to change that. So I'm going to read to you from the guidebook on this law of polarity, just to give you a little bit more insight on the truth being revealed, or the truth that you're ready to have revealed. Let's see here. Okay. It says here, the law of polarity is set into motion by spirit, your higher self, contemplating its own identity. The moment you consider something to be anything other than the I am, universal law is set into motion. Limited identity and limited beliefs within the soul activate and direct energy negatively, actively creating yourself as the unique divine positively sets polarity into motion. Intention, attention, initiation, and selection set the mechanics of the universe into motion. This is a sign that you may be judging yourself. Have you felt the burden of work, meeting expectations, or trying to be enough? Getting clarity on your values and getting your priorities straight is important at this time. By drawing this card, the universe is nudging you to take a vacation and give yourself some tender, loving care. Your higher self desires for you to practice being present to the perfection of who you are. Take a break from the rat race. You are an eternal spiritual being capable of producing miracles. In order to unleash your divine power, you must let go of the belief that you are not good enough. Yes, and I feel like this is something you've been working on, Pisces. Take inventory of the ways you judge yourself. Notice how these limiting beliefs impact your thinking and self-love. Close your eyes and go on a journey within. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Remember, you are divine, right? So again, it's very fascinating because I picked up on that energy already, right? If it's like anything that is, or anyone rather, that is trying to make you feel like you are not enough, it's like, bye, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 on the clock. I feel like this is part of your evolutionary unfolding. Okay? I feel like, the truth you're ready to have revealed to you, Pisces, and maybe you've started to believe in this to some degree or another, but the truth is that you are enough. Exactly as you are. You don't have to achieve something in order to be enough. You don't have to have certain resources, certain knowledge, certain power, etc., certain people to be enough. You just are, right? The clarity here, the Lovers in the reverse. Isn't this fascinating? Because here's the thing, the Lovers, first of all, is this energy of unity, not only in relationships with those outside of ourselves, but with ourselves. It's also about those personal beliefs and those values that we hold. And here it is in the reverse for you, right? So I feel like there's been this imbalance, this disharmony within, where again, you felt like you're not enough, where there hasn't been this union within, where maybe you've attached to beliefs that aren't yours, values that are not yours. And it's created this conflict within you. But I feel like you have another 6 here, so maybe you're seeing repeating sixes, but I feel like this has a lot to do with your growth and your healing. Right? I feel like this is a big part of your healing, is that acknowledgement that you are enough as you are. Right? Let's see what else we have here. The Ace of Swords in the reverse. It's very interesting to me, because here again, there comes this energy of, how would I say, I feel like this conflict within brings confusion and chaos into your experience with this Ace of Swords here in the reverse. And I feel like it's probably, how would I say, put you in this position where you believed lies, where things have not been clear, right? And you've kind of bought and sold them as truth, and maybe have taken them on as, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not enough. Okay? It just really feels like this energy of taking on, how do I say it? Like, you may have been somebody who, again, whether you realized it or not, were believing lies because there's been this like conflict within, this chaos within, this confusion within, this disharmony within, this imbalance, or this this inaligned energy. How do I say? Like, you have not been aligned with your personal beliefs or your values. They've never been yours. That's how I'm seeing this, right? And I feel like this is something that you may, a truth that you may be ready to be exposed to, that you may be ready to have revealed to you, that this has never been your truth. I feel like you may have been very much in your mind. Okay, with the Ace of Swords and Gemini energy here, very much in your mind about these things. And so I do feel like, this could be something that you are now ready to have revealed to you. And, I've said this so many times throughout these Tarotscopes. The truth will set you free, but first it's going to hurt a lot. And that is part of where I feel like, this is part of where I feel like you may be at currently. So how is this going to challenge you? We have the law of divine will. Stop waiting for a sign. The universe responds to your beliefs, right? So we have this energy of, belief showing up again and again and again for you. And I feel that I don't know why, but there's an energy here, a feeling of like, some of you have this, how do I say, you would acknowledge that, let's say, universe, God, spirit communicates with you, or that maybe you've manifested certain things, or certain things have come into your experience because you've wanted them to. Okay? You may have acknowledged this. And there are some of you who I feel it's like, I'm waiting for this sign to come in to tell me to do this or do that, or take this step, or go here or go there. And it's very fascinating, because I feel that, how do I say this? At certain points, your beliefs may have been aligned with certain things, and they've manifested, and you've been like, yes, I knew, right? Or yes, this is what I wanted. But then maybe you started aligning more with fear, or judging yourself or whatever the case is. And then the universe responded accordingly. And so you may have been waiting for, how do I say this? You may have wanted to find your way out of that, let's say, but you are in you may have been in this belief system. And so the universe just keeps bringing to you exactly what that belief system is, or that state that you're in. Previously, you could have been in a completely different state, and so you are being shown completely different things. Does that make sense? So now it's like, I'm waiting for this thing to happen. I'm waiting for this sign. I'm waiting for God. I'm waiting for whatever. And it's like, well, actually, you're in this state where you feel like you're unworthy, or maybe you feel like you are judging yourself, very harshly. And it's interesting because I feel like there's an aspect of you that is really trying to align with growth. And, if people are being super judgy or, saying you're not enough, I feel like you are, dismissing them, if you will, from your life. But you let yourself get away with judging you. You let yourself get away with, saying you're not enough. It's very interesting. It feels very conflicting, right? Which is, very much this lover's energy coming in. That polarity, right? That judgment of self, that setting the universe into motion, right? So I feel like there's the challenge here, I feel, is acknowledging where your beliefs are sitting. It's not a completely outward thing. Like, sure, those that you spend your time with have an impact, of course, but so do your beliefs. So does your state of being. So does what you focus on. So let's take a look. I'm going to read from the guidebook here just to dive a little bit deeper. This is universal law number 10. And I feel like this is a challenge because the cycle is like more of a challenge, if you will, or it feels like such a challenge because I feel like there's a cycle here that you're trying to close, or that you're being encouraged to close. And that can often be very difficult, right? To kind of pass that initiation, to release certain things, to let go, to complete a cycle, to move forward, right? To allow things to come full circle. That can be very challenging. Okay, so I'm going to read this, the whole entire thing for you, not just the message, but the interpretation as well. It says, the absolute truth is that God's will is your will. This law works in direct proportion with your ability to direct energy upon universal law by the power of your mind and the conviction of your heart. Divine will has no correlation with using force upon the physical realm. Control is influenced by the beliefs within your soul. It is time to end waiting and to begin living. The will of spirit is your authentic will. In drawing this card, your higher self desires for you to direct universal laws through the power of your mind and the conviction of your heart. The only transgression is not giving yourself fully to life. This is a sign to do the thing you've always desired to do, or take that course you've always wanted to experience. Take action today. Let go of resistance and step into your grace. Where have you been holding yourself back in life? Contemplate bold actions to take right now that will allow you to align with your deepest desires. Let's go. All right, so again, I feel like the challenge here is acknowledging this is, and I keep being brought back to this, Pisces, where you may have had things happen and you're like, yes, this is exactly what I want. This is why this is coming into my life. Like God is blessing me, or whatever, right? And you may have been waiting for another sign, or something to show up in your experience to say, or to give you permission for something. And the truth is, you haven't been giving yourself permission, right? So I feel like this is where the challenge comes in. We also have here the law of truth, love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries. This is fascinating AF, because that energy of being very choosy about who you're letting in comes to mind. In addition to that, we have this energy of love unconditionally, the law of truth. I feel like this is going to challenge you, because there may have been a space where you're like, I deserve something really good. I deserve something that is going to bring me joy and happiness and love. And maybe you got that thing, right? It showed up. And you're like, oh, that must mean that I'm worthy. That must mean that I deserve it. That must mean, whatever. And then maybe somewhere along the line, your belief systems, something happened. Fear got in the way, confusion got in the way, illusion got in the way, belief systems got in the way, trauma got in the way, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I'm not worthy of this. Maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm being punished. Whatever the story, right? And again, coming back to where the challenge is here, it's like, stop waiting for a sign. The universe responds to your beliefs, right? The challenge being, these things happened because that was the energy that you were in. You believed yourself to be deserving. You willed it, essentially, to show up. And then somewhere you were like, wait a minute. And so now it's like waiting for this, again, for permission. Like, okay, I'm enough now. I deserve this now. Okay? But I feel like, again, this is going to challenge you, because there's this truth where you are love. You are enough. Right? I'm only going to read the message here, but I feel like this is, moving past illusion. Right? I do not know what the sound is, driving me nuts. Moving past illusion, opening that door for yourself, seeing truth for what it is. Actually, let's see here. What is this card number? Okay, so the message is, by drawing this card, your higher self desires for you to live authentically. The triune of freedom is truth, life, and beauty. To unlock your divinity, you must end any battle within and live a transparent life. Telling the truth may be uncomfortable at first, but the universe assures that there is a life of freedom on the other side. Most importantly, tell yourself the truth and you will be set free. Write down all the lies you have been telling yourself. Where have you been settling in life? Where have you been pretending instead of being authentic? Now, write down your truth in the 4 areas of your life: relationships and love, career and money, health and vitality, and creative expression. Right, so again, how will this challenge you? Because it's going to ask you to be transparent. And again, like I've shared already, Pisces, there tends to be this, you sometimes, right, there can be this lower, if you will, characteristic that you tend to lean toward, which is that escapist kind of energy. It's like, I don't want to see the truth, I want to run from it instead. And I say that with so much love. We all have our things, okay? I'm not judging you. I'm not saying that makes you bad or any of that. It just is what it is, okay? So I do feel like this is going to challenge you by having you face truth and be present, be in front of it, right? To be looking at it, to speak it, to move from it, right? And that can be uncomfortable. Like I was saying, the truth will set you free, but first it's going to hurt a lot. It's going to make you uncomfortable. Yeah, we have the Ace of Wands here, right? I feel like this is being true about what ignites passion within you, what ignites fire within you, what inspires you, what are your desires. I feel like this is going to be the challenge. It's like staring those in the face and being truthful about them, moving forward with them, if that makes sense, aligning with them. Okay. Yeah. Holy crap. You have the world here. This is the challenge. Literally being truthful and giving yourself permission to be fulfilled, to pursue your desires, to how would I say, open yourself up to potential, be confident, be courageous, be enthusiastic about what inspires you, what you desire, what you want to create, and moving forward in that, allowing it to fulfill you, allowing it to bring you inner and outer peace. That is the challenge, to bring a close to this cycle. I mean, good gosh, blows my mind here. A challenge. Like, it's interesting because I feel like there's so much here available for you to experience. There's so much love, so much beauty, so much of what you want, but it's really about letting yourself experience that harmony, that fulfillment, that completion, feeling that you are deserving of it, right? Letting yourself experience it. How will this bless you? The law of oneness. Release the need to make anyone wrong and unify with your truth. So there's a lot of this energy here, right? There's that judging type of energy. And there's this truth energy, right? Unify with your truth. You don't have to make anyone wrong. There will certainly be people who do not agree or condone or are satisfied or happy about your choices. Okay. They don't have to live with you for the rest of your life. You do. Right? At any given point, any person, your child, your family member, your friend, your person, whoever, can walk away. They can leave your life and never come back, ever. You have to be happy with you because you have to live with you for as long as you live. Right? You are the only person that has to do that, that does not have a choice. Right? So I feel like this is going to, this could certainly bless you by unifying with your truth. Right? By not making it, oh, this person has to be wrong in order for me to have permission to do this. No. Your truth is your truth. It doesn't matter. Right? It does not matter. To clarify, Five of Wands. This is that conflict, right? This is that conflict. And I feel like I feel like it's going to bless you by releasing you from this conflict type of energy, this adverse type of energy, this hassle, this how do I say, this disagreement within and externally as well, right? Because it's not a competition. It's not about who's right and who's wrong, right? That's not the point. The point is who is living in truth, and what reality are they creating for themselves? How are they evolving? How are they growing? How are they being as truthful and authentic as possible? And but it's not a competition. Because when you live in truth and, person X and person Y and person Z live in truth, that is how we are all beneficial, not only to ourselves, but to humanity. Yeah, so, I feel like it takes you out of this state of competition within yourself, conflict within yourself and puts you in this position where you are excited about what's to come, where you are willing to explore. Again, be excited and explore reality, new ways of being, right? This puts you in a position where you are again enthusiastic, courageous, confident, where you are free from that conflict within, that competition with, especially within, because it feels like there's a lot here about having these internal battles with yourself. Okay? Brings you into the state of oneness, because look at here, this is what it says, the law of oneness, unify with your truth. And you have all of these beings on this card here. There are 5 of them. So it's like you're separate from yourself because you're trying to, you're not living in your truth. Whereas when you move into that truth, you unify within, you set yourself free from that conflict, from that competition that's going on inside of yourself, and you move into a space where you feel more confident, you're living in your truth, you're doing that courageously, you're feeling enthusiastic about life, and you are free from this feeling of being everywhere, scattered, right? So what guidance will best support your evolution, Pisces? Yeah, your guidance is divinely guided, right? Because I do feel like you are probably in touch with your intuition to some degree or another, Pisces. Now, whether or not you're listening to it or interpreting it clearly, truthfully, I don't know. But the guidance that's best that will best support your evolution is the guidance you're being given, because it's divinely guided. Right? You are being encouraged to see truth, to allow yourself, to give yourself permission to experience fulfillment, to see that you are indeed enough. Okay? Yeah. You can't make this shit up, Pisces. You also have trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Again, your guidance is divinely guided. There is something in you that's like, go here, do this, go here, do that. And it's really, really fascinating, because I feel like for some of you, you're getting these nudges, right? But it's like, give me a signier sign, give me something bigger, like plant it in front of my face, land it in front of my face, and then I will believe it. It's like, no. You're enough to receive these nudges. Doesn't have to be some grandiose big thing that just lands in your lap. Right? I feel like you've been getting these nudges, whatever it's about, right? Maybe it's about something you desire deeply. Maybe it's about something, somewhere you need to be going, or something you need to be doing. Maybe it's about certain people, a certain place, whatever it is. You've been getting that encouragement. And I feel like it's probably been, if you're being honest, a lot. Maybe you dream about it even. You also have here, Anna Grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. What guidance will best support your evolution? I feel that there's likely to be several of you who would resonate with experiencing what we might call like a tower moment, where things really freaking fell apart to some degree or another, or where you experience this round of, let's say, things just not working out the way you planned, things just not going the way you thought they would. And I feel like the whole point of that falling apart was to lay foundations for the new, to show you what is actually part of your plan, what is actually supposed to be going on in your experience. Right? It feels like it's been planting these seeds for the light, if you will, for the truth. Right? And I feel like that's the guidance that's going to best support your evolution. However, I'm going to read from the guidebook for you, just give you what it says here. If I can find this card. Okay. Again, this is the guidance that will best support your evolution. It says, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundation for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. And to be quite fair, whether you're male or female doesn't really matter. But to be quite fair, I feel that there's this energy here of, you seeing yourself as enough is going to put you in a position where you can do what you're meant to be doing here. Right? Because not only are we here to evolve as individuals, but we are also here to be of service to humanity, right? We are also here to, in many ways, find our way out of the woods and to go back in and help others find their way out. Many times your pain points are part of your purpose, right? So, take that how it resonates with you. I still feel very much that, the guidance that could best support your evolution is understanding that sometimes things fall apart for other things to come together. And there are, how would I say, there are nudges, if you will, that we get from the universe. There are signs that we get from the universe to show whether or not we are on the right path. And a lot of that comes with how we feel about ourselves, right? Because the further we are from our plan, the further we are from God, more often than not, the worse off we feel. The more unfulfilled we feel, right? So take that as it resonates with you. I pray that something here has been helpful or valuable for you in some way, shape, or form. If something here has resonated with you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow, and I truly, truly appreciate doing any of those things. I love seeing comments. I love seeing new subscribers. I love getting those likes. So thank you so, so much for doing that. I pray that this month brings you the courage to stand in your truth, to live your truth, to accept and acknowledge your truth, to change the beliefs or to work on changing the beliefs that do create conflict, disharmony, or chaos in your experience, and that you are able to find the things and align with the things that fulfill you, that will bring you peace, that ignite passion within you, and that you have the courage to follow them. Have a beautiful, beautiful month. Take care of your strong, courageous, growing, loving soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.